Sometimes we think that we have been feeling our feelings, when in reality, we have just been coping. Sometimes we think that we've been feeling our feelings because we're crying, we're angry, we're feeling a myriad of different emotions, and we attribute those emotions to feeling our feelings. Welcome to the StayiN Wild and Well podcast. My name is Rin, and my greatest accomplishment is being alive. Here we talk about life's journey, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, all things mental health, body, mind, and spirit. We share wild stories and keeping your wild alive while staying well. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what it looks like to actually feel your feelings. And I thought I would start by sharing a little bit about myself. Because if anybody would have told me that I wasn't feeling my feelings, I would have been really angry. And if you are someone who has gone through a lot in your life and you know that you have sat through your tears and you have gone through the different layers, if I told you that you were not feeling your feelings, you might get a little bit angry because it can easily feel like what you've gone through has been diminished, and that is not the point of the video today. I have been on a basement floor crying, gripping for my life, and I could tell you now, based on what I've currently gone through, what I've experienced, that my 20 plus journey of moving closer to myself and my truth, I was not feeling my feelings like I thought I had been. So, what did feeling my feelings look like for me? Well, I thought it was journaling. I thought it was coaching sessions and therapy. I thought it was the somatic healing, the breath work, the body-based movements, the yoga, the meditation, the walks in the forest, listening to the podcasts, Googling and learning about the brain, reading the books, really diving into personal development, crying and feeling the different emotions, holding space for myself, having compassion. And these can all be layers. And I don't think that if I hadn't gone through these motions, which I think are a crucial part of feeling your feelings, I would be where I am today. So in no way am I saying that the things that I have done in order to heal, because really, what does that even mean? The things that I have done to get closer to myself and my truth are not wrong if that is what you are moving through or have gone through or are continuing to do, because I think that they are all very important pieces to the puzzle and to the journey that brings us to where we are today. What I am saying is I attributed all these things to feeling, because in so many ways you are feeling a lot of different things, but it wasn't necessarily bringing me to the truth that I needed to experience, because in so many ways, and bear with me, this can be controversial, in so many ways, these things are also coping mechanisms. We can see coping mechanisms as, aimlessly scrolling on social media. We can see coping mechanisms as video gaming, shopping, drugs, alcohol, working too much. There are many different foods, many different coping mechanisms out there that we can attach ourselves to that are automatically attributed to being bad, and that meditation and yoga and going for the walk and journaling can be attributed to being good. Really, neither are labeled as good or bad. We show up in the capacity that we can, and our brain, as you know, as I've said in multiple videos, its number one job is to protect us. So we are naturally going to gravitate towards something to make us feel better. Our brain never wants us to sit in discomfort at any point in time, which is why I think in so many ways, when you are still moving through the motions and you are doing the things that you think are helping you feel your feelings, it's so easy to assume that you've been feeling your feelings all along, whether that be the journaling, whether that be going for the walks, whether that be the crying and writing and listening to the song. I'm here to say that even if you are journaling or going on a shopping spree to make yourself feel better, those, though very different and also ignite different feelings within us, are still both coping mechanisms that actually pull us away from what we are feeling. And you might say, no, Rin, journaling pulls you into how you're feeling. You're exploring how you're feeling and you're writing it out. For sure. I'm not saying that neither one of these are pulling you away from feeling. What I am saying is the true route to your healing journey, the true route to moving through what you are going through, when we are looking for the answers within us, is to feel and not have to do anything about it. Most of our lives we spent trying to avoid pain. In fact, other people's pain also makes us feel uncomfortable. So when someone comes to us with their pain, we usually want to make them feel better. We're giving them advice, we're giving them solutions. Sometimes, if you're really good at it and you've practiced for a long time, you can listen and hear it. But for the most part, we feel uncomfortable with pain and we want people to move through it and we want ourselves to move through it. And we have not been taught to sit within our own feelings of discomfort ever. From the moment you were born, if you were crying a lot, most likely your mother or father or caregiver gave you a soother to soothe you through your tears. When we are going through something, we see it on the TV and the media, the breakup, and they're eating the ice cream and they're crying and you're going out dancing. Like, we see so much of the discomfort that we feel then transposed and put onto some sort of coping mechanism to make us feel better. Oh, I'm not doing well. I'm just going to sit down and meditate. I'm going to feel better. And then we feel enlightened and we feel better. Or sometimes we don't, and then we move to the next thing. I want to encourage you today to lean into your feelings. And what that looks like is sitting down in a space that is silent and comfortable, because we want to be comfortable. That is taking a deep breath. That is feeling into your body. Where do I feel tension right now? Where do I feel tight? Do I feel discomfort? Do I feel pain? Where can I attach what I'm feeling to in my body? And then maybe it's placing your hand there. And instead of trying to cope, instead of finding something to move you out of that feeling, it's leaning into the feeling that you are going through and just allowing it to be there. Not having to do anything about it. It might be loneliness. It might be sadness. It might be panic. It might be joy. Because even joy, if you think about it, we celebrate it, we're excited, we're telling the world, we're calling our friends and giving our good news. Like, we want to share it with the world. It's so beautiful. But can you just pause and feel it without having to do anything, without having to reach for anything? And I understand and recognize that this is not always going to be the safest method for someone. If you are moving through feelings of suicide, complete depression, this might not be a safe space for you right now within your body to feel into your feelings. We are never going to escape the human experience. So sometimes we do need to reach for the journal, and we do need to go for the walk, and we do need to do the meditation, and hopefully modalities that make us feel better than throw us down a shame spiral or make us feel worse. Not escaping the human experience, even me saying that I have finally felt my feelings for the first time in 30 some odd years, doesn't mean I'm not going to reach for those things that help me out, because we all do need a little bit of help. But the difference is that I know how to tune into my body and really go in and leave space and hold space for me to feel whatever pops up without judging it, without having to fix it, without having to do something about it, without having to seek validation, without having to ask for advice, just to allow it to be there. Because within those feelings, often the answers that you've been looking for are revealed in that stillness and that silence within. And that's that tuning in and tapping in previous videos I've talked about, to your inner knowing. There is a feeling evoked within you where suddenly you just know you're going to be okay, because you have given yourself the space to feel that darkness and go deeper. You've given yourself space to get curious about what you're feeling without having to mask it, without having to cope with it, without having to move to the next thing and the next thing. You are just holding space to feel. Not over intellectualizing what you're feeling, not having to understand it, just to be with it. You deserve to be able to just sit with your feelings, to just be able to be with you, because there's magic that comes from this. You might say, why the heck would I want to do this when I could, do the journaling or go for the walk, or maybe it is some unhealthier coping mechanisms. Why would I want to sit with my feelings, Rin? Because there is so much power that comes with feeling your feelings, is so much empowerment. The empowerment that comes from within you when you have chosen to feel your feelings, you start to generate safety within your own body, to know that no matter what I'm feeling, I'm going to be okay. And not only are you generating safety, but you're generating trust. I trust me to feel. I trust me to show up for me. I've got me. You are establishing a sense of knowing within you that you don't need anything outside of you, that all the answers are within. And like I said, you're not going to escape the human experience, so sometimes you are going to reach for those things of comfort that help you out, and that is okay. But what I really want you to understand today is that allowing yourself to lean into the feelings without having to do anything about it is the greatest superpower that you will ever, ever, ever have.